Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We keep our focus on seeking a solution to the seemingly unending developments in the Niger Delta. Well, yes, as you may have seen in that welcoming slide there, Emmanuel Bristol-Alagbariya joins us now. He's the Secretary General of Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, my brother.
Well, everyone talking about this to see how do we just sort this out. What is going on? What can you tell us about all of this? Because certainly you've got some perspectives about this that many don't. What do you think is happening?
In the Niger Delta region? Well, Niger Delta region is a region that is known the world over, that has been treated unjustly, and a region that bears the economic burden of this country, a region that has not been given the opportunity for participation, fair participation. So, and it's also part of the minority group in this country, where you find the minority group in this country. And oftentimes people had taken up these challenges. It started when our forebears, the likes of Bristol-Alagbariya, led the Rivers chiefs and elders to the Lancaster House, where they made a clear position that the government at the center do not understand the challenges we face as a people. And the fears, they were able to express our fears of being subsumed in the entity called Nigeria, that we do not have a unique identity. Our identity is not captured. So that made in the wisdom of that conference, they were able to put up a committee to look into these fears and also make recommendation. And part of the recommendation that has to do with development, that committee was led by Henry Willings. So Henry Willings. So he also recommended that there must be a special agency that should strategically develop the region for there to be peace, because the region must be developed considering the enormous wealth and for the fact that we carries the burden of the economic challenge of this country, that the region must be developed. And over this time, since 1958, when they went for this conference, and we ask ourselves, how come 26th of this month will make it exactly 59 years that this recommendation was done? Until date, nothing has been done. We've had series of committees, recommendation, papers, discussion forums and all the rest. But what we ask ourselves is that these too many discussion, when are we going to pick these documents, synchronize them together and start the implementation process? Right.
But as it is today, with all of these interest groups springing up and talk about the government wanting to negotiate with the Niger Delta, are you optimistic that at the end of the day that the government will actually get the right people and the right issues to be addressed?
Okay, that's where we express our own fears. Because today, I know there is huge poverty in the region. And wherever you throw an opportunity at the center, you see people scrambling, struggling towards it. Today we have organization, proliferation of splinter groups, everybody agitating. It's a good message. Even when the devil carries the message, they can excuse the devil of his excesses and accept the message. It's easy to ride on that sentiment, to instigate the people. But we ask ourselves, how long? Because to a great extent, our leaders too should be held responsible. To a great extent.
As leaders in the
from the region, yes, from the region should be held responsible. Because just as in business, in this life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you clearly negotiate for. And we may have had the privilege to negotiate. What did we negotiate? What did they negotiate?
I thought the blame should be about what they ultimately did, not about the negotiation.
No, what I'm saying that what did they negotiate at the long run? Because we've had this issue where some leaders, when they get to that point of negotiation, they advance their personal interests. And it has taken us to that. These are the challenges that we face. Today you see people running all over the government, looking for an opportunity to drive a process. When late President Yadua gave an opportunity decide to see how we can address the Niger Delta problem, we saw leaders It was, in short, it was a competition. Who brings out more militants than the others? Who attract the government's attention? Who drives the process? But we all know that in between the lines, there were personal interests that we were trying to advance. One, probably to appear to be good to the government, so they can get sympathy and patronage from the government. We can, at this point in time, we must not bequeath this struggle to the future generation.
What has youth groups like yours done about that?
We've tried our best. We've tried our best. You know, as an individual, you can only score a goal. You can only score a goal. It takes a team to win a match. We need people. And when you talk about struggle, in the world over, if you go back to history, people that have championed struggle, they're not rich. Let's call it a spade, they're not rich. But most people today that advance struggle, they're billionaires, multi-billionaires. When their communities are suffering, we must accept the gospel truth. Because posterity never forgive us.
You know, the pain here is watching you talk and also having a picture at the back of one's mind of what the Niger Delta is like. And it would mean that, from what you're saying, that so many of these people who have come up to say, they are agitators or fighting for the region, ultimately, according to you, haven't done that on behalf of the region. So in moving forward...
Not to say that they've not done it on behalf of the region. I said that even a devil, as long as he carries a good message, his excesses, his shortcomings can be excused. And the message accepted.
Oh.
So what I'm saying that...
So they dine with the devil?
What's it?
They dine with the devil ultimately?
No, what I'm saying that a lot of people drive under that sentiment that the Niger Delta is underdeveloped. But in between the lines, they know they're not fighting genuinely for the struggle. They're doing that for their own personal interest.
How do we avoid that same mistake? Because now it seems as if the government and the new group, the Avengers, they're looking towards dialoguing. And if that is what it is, how sure are the youth of IYC and different communities that make up the Niger Delta will be on this discussion that is likely to start any moment from now?
Okay, like the Niger Delta Avengers, I do not know them. You understand? And I also do know that we do not have the mandate to justify the action of any group, because one, you can negotiate for me when I know you and I've given you a mandate. But what we're emphasizing, that in order for us not to go round in circles, we must, everybody carries a message. We should excuse the messenger and look at the message. And who are they representing? You can't discuss with those people they represent, not the messenger.
Do we then excuse the Avengers and look at the message?
What we're saying that IYC, the Bristol-Alagbariya Emmanuel, they all carry the message. You understand? So you go discuss with the communities, the ethnic nationalities, people that suffer the devastation, people that have lost loved ones. Okay, look at the amnesty process, the amnesty program. In my own view, the amnesty program, some persons benefited, and the three categories of beneficiaries. One, the federal government, because one, we found ourselves in a situation whereby the oil production level depleted to about 700,000 barrels a day. So it was a huge challenge to the government. And the government needed to do anything to reverse the situation. So when the amnesty was granted, it reversed. And we were able to maximize our OPEC quota of 2.2 million barrels. Then the next category of beneficiaries again are the IOCs, the international oil companies. The equipment were no longer vandalized.